Hey, my name's Tim Tournier. I play bass for Myles Kennedy. And this is my EVH Wolfgang Bass. It's a pretty unique instrument. There's only 2 of these on the planet, so this is a prototype. The other one is a white one that Wolf has, and this was a gift to me from Wolf about a year ago. There's 2 earlier versions of this that Ed was working on for years that then got taken out with Mammoth, and the bass player in Mammoth, Ronnie, really kind of put it through its paces, which has been the EVH mantra forever, is if you're going to develop something and put out a product, it needs to, go out on the road, be toured, learn everything you can about it, how you can make it better, really put it through its paces. So Ronnie was responsible for that on the 2 earlier versions, and through a lot of his R&D along with Matt Bruck, they put this together. The white one that Ronnie uses, flash to the photo of Ronnie playing the white one, same exact specs, and then I played it just at a Mammoth show and fell in love with it. So Wolf and Matt Bruck, who run EVH brand, made this one for me. So this is built by Chip Ellis, and it's just mahogany body, maple neck, rosewood fretboard. It's 1.56 up to a 2.5 for the neck. It's just kind of like, I'm not sure when Chip actually built it, but Wolfgang body, volume tone, rotary switch that just kind of goes through different, for the pickups, different cuts and different in phase, out of phase, everything like that. But these are Tim Shaw pickups, which is really cool. I'm a big guitar collector, a big fan of all the Norland era Gibson stuff. And when Wolf was talking with Matt about making the SA-126 and just talking about pickups, I was always Norland, Tim Shaw. Tim Shaw makes the sickest pickups ever. So when they made that guitar, they're like, Wolf called me and said, hey, guess what? Guess who made the pickups? Tim Shaw. And it's like, oh shit, okay, this is great, which is one of the reasons why it sounds as awesome as it does. So when they gave me this, they said, hey, guess who made the pickups? Tim Shaw. So it's the 80s kid in me who has all the 80s Les Pauls that for a long period of time people didn't dig, and then now everybody seems to love, and my $2,000 Les Pauls are now $15,000 Les Pauls. He put that in there. So yeah, that's essentially the bass. Like I said, prototype. I think this is prototype 2, but last I heard, it's gonna come out. They gave it to me a year ago. I've been putting it through the paces with Myles and sending some of my feedback back. So I know that there's gonna be a couple more tweaks and things like that before it comes out. But what an awesome instrument, So I was never given an instrument by anybody, and then Wolf gave this to me, knowing I was going out with Myles, and it was awesome. And then 3 days later, Myles gave me a PRS guitar that was his signature model that I helped work on as well. So it was a hell of a Christmas. When I first started off, I was a guitar player. I've been playing guitar for 32 years at this point. And then I started playing upright bass in 5th grade. So did orchestra and jazz band and things like that, which just kind of helped. I always fancied myself a guitar player, but became a bass player in a band because that was the position that was available. And, sometimes you switch over because you want the gig, so you fill the shoes and you try to do your best to imitate a bass player as I possibly can. And the best way of doing that, instead of just playing whole notes the whole time or following whatever the guitar's doing, I just tried to listen and educate myself. And, I got a lot of lessons, private lessons from different bass players in Chicago, that, jazz bass players and things like that on the upright, that helped me take a little bit of a different approach from walking bass lines and outlining chord shapes and understanding, it's not just about, oh, he's playing a C, so play a C. It's about outlining the chord, and you can use a triad and do different runs, and just trying to think outside of the box, while also understanding your your role in the band. It's not lead bass. You know what I mean? Some guys out there do that and do that just fine. I do not. So the best advice I can give is listen